Okay, so I'm bringing it back. The first What If I ever did, the one that started it all. This is What If Deku was a Fire Dragon Slayer, Part 7. So let's get into it. So where I last left off, it was that All for One versus All Might fight, and in that fight, Deku he fought Agnologia and All for One. I think, or I don't really remember. Anyways, so like they destroyed like half the city, so I'm gonna skip 2 months. Like everything will be the same. It's just it'll just be ahead, like ahead the timeline, I guess. So, 2 months. The city is almost done rebuilding. Um, they're going back to class. Then, as Deku gets there, Aizawa starts explaining the provisional license exam, and when they get there, the copy and paste Deku he shakes everyone's hand, and Deku he feels that something's off about him, so he doesn't shake his hand. So yeah. Um. So yeah, as in canon, when the test starts, everyone goes for class 1A. Um. Deku immediately puts up a big wall of fire. Um. So they couldn't go through it, but some people did manage to get through it, and since those did class 1A, just like some of the students just took them out, and then and yeah, and Deku says, here, okay, here's the plan. You guys stay together while I distract them, and you guys can eliminate them. And everyone agrees to that. So Deku lets out the firewall and starts like shooting fire at everyone to distract them, so his class can pass and all that. And yeah, eventually they all do pass. Um. Yeah, they all pass. So then the next day, uh, the big three, yeah, the big three, they show up. Mirio challenges everyone as in canon, and everything goes similar as in canon. Like Mirio takes out everyone, like almost everyone, and when he tries to take down Deku, it takes more than one punch to take him down. Like when Mirio does his super move where he temporarily blinds Deku and goes for a punch in the stomach. He does that, but Deku he powers through it and punches Mirio in the face because he figured out that he can't permeate all of his body, only parts of it. So he punches Mirio in the face, which hits him and sends him flying towards a wall. Mirio gets up and he says like, "Oh, you're pretty strong, kid." And then Aizawa would say, "That's enough for today. You already took out the rest of the class." So yeah, then after that, Mirio talks about it, work studies just a little bit, and then when they go back to class, Aizawa starts talking more about the work studies, and Deku does go to Night Eye's agency, and as in canon, Night Eye he tells Deku to take the stamp from him, and he will stamp the paper. So yeah, Deku he tries to go, but since Night Eye can see the future, he just dodges everything. Deku eventually he would get it like by surprising Night Eye. So yeah, and so Night Eye stamps the paper and all that. So Deku joins his agency. Then Mirio and Deku go on patrol. and then Eri bumps into Deku. She falls down. Deku says, "Are you okay? Are you hurt?" And she's scared, and Deku notices this, and he asks like, "Why are you scared?" And then Overhaul, he shows up, and he says like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Is my daughter troubling you?" And then Mirio says, "No, no, sir. Like she's not. He just bumped into him." And then he will say, "Oh, that's unfortunate. Eri, say sorry right now." And then she says sorry, but in a scared voice. Deku says that it's okay. And then Overall says, "Come on, Eri, we don't want to distract the heroes." So Eri, she leaves, but Deku notices that she's really sad, and he notices the scars on her body. The bandages. And then he brings it up to Mirio, and he says like, "That guy's up. Like that guy, I'm not sure. Like, he seems off to me." And Mirio says, "What do you mean?" And Deku would mention like, "Did you see those bandages on the girls on the little girl's body? Like, those can't. Like, why would she have those?" And then Mary would say, "I don't know. Maybe she just gets injured a lot." And Deku would say, "I don't know. I'm gonna tell this to Night Eye." And then Mirio says, "Okay." So they go back to a patrol. They take down a few low-level crimes, and then they go back to the agency. Deku starts mentioning Eri and Overhaul, and then Night Eye would start saying like, we've been trying to track Overhaul down for the past, like, I would say like 4 months, I guess. And yeah, so the next day, not the next day. Night Eye would continue talking about Overhaul and what he's doing. Like he's making erase he's making eraser bullets, so like when you get hit by these bullets, they erase your quirk. And Deku just starts thinking about Eri and seeing all the bandages on his body, and he's thinking like is he using his daughter as some kind of source? And Deku, he just gets mad. Mirio says, "Calm down. We'll figure this out." Deku says, "Okay." So Deku leaves. It's the next day. After school, Deku, he goes back, and he Night Eye is starting to plans a big meeting about about Eri and all that. Everyone's there. The big three, Uraraka, Sue, and Kirishima, they're all there too. So they do the same meeting about Overhaul and how they think that he's using a girl to make the bullets. So yeah, and eventually they'll be done with that. For the next few days, they've been trying to get more of a lead to find the hideout of the Yakuzas. I think that's what they're called, the Yakuzas. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Sorry about that. Those are my dogs. Oh crap. That cut. I had to calm down my dogs. Anyways, so for the next few days, they've been trying to find more of a lead. To find where the base is and all that. Deku. Deku. He eventually finds where the base is, and he tells the heroes. And yeah, yeah, so he tells the heroes, and now they they start the plan. They start to plan the raid. Um. So yeah. Um. So so eventually they would start. They would make a plan. Um. About raiding the base. Sorry if I'm stuttering. Um. Anyways. So they would raid the base. Everything would happen as in canon. Um. And then eventually Mirio would get to Eri, and he would start fighting Overhaul like in canon. Um. Eventually, Deku he would get through the whole, like bust through the wall and all that, and then he would start fighting Overhaul. I'm sorry if I'm rushing this. It's just that there's nothing really interesting that I can say. I know that makes me sound really lazy, but it's the truth. I can't really think about adding other things to the series. So I'm sorry if this feels rushed. So anyway, Deku he would start fighting Overhaul. Mirio did lose his quirk, and Deku would tell Eri to get out to leave with Mirio and all that. So Eri would leave with Mirio. Then Deku would start fighting Overhaul. He would get like stabbed, like in like the side. I guess that's where it was. Night Eye would eventually get there. He would start helping Deku. But then when Deku wasn't looking, Overhaul stabs Night Eye with the pillar things. I don't even know what they were. But he stabs Night Eye with the pillar things. Eventually, Ryuku and the and Urakasu and Nejire would bust through the roof, I guess, or like the ground. And then Overhaul would be like fused with that other person, and then Eri comes back and like does like the whole thing, like I don't want you to hurt them anymore and all that. And then she would go with Overhaul's in canon, but then Deku would start fighting to get Eri back. And then eventually Eri jumps back to Deku. She grabs onto, like she hugs him and all that. And they would get back to the street. They would go on the street. Overhaul would turn into like that big monster thing. I don't even know what that was. Well then Deku, since he doesn't have one for all, he would just turn into his half dragon form. Like his left side would be like all scaly and dragon like and all that. And then since he doesn't have one for all, he doesn't really need Eri, so he sets Eri aside, like on the sidewalk, like far away. And I mean not far away, like close by, and he tells her to stay there. And he would start fighting Overhaul. He would do like that, a similar kick as he did in canon, but instead of a smash, he would like do like a actual like a fire kick, but like a really hot fire kick, like the fire would be like really dark red with black, and yeah, it would have the same effect, the same amount of damage. And then Deku he would fly up, and instead of doing that big punch, he would still do a big punch, but like it really like a punch that's like that has a lot of fire behind it. Like, so yeah, it would do. So Deku, would do that big punch attack, like with fire instead of one for all and all that. So yeah, not eventually. So Deku, he would knock out Overhaul, and yeah, that's the end of that. Um. Uh. So yeah. Then the League of Villains come. They take Overhaul away. And I think that Shigaraki killed Overhaul. I forgot. I'm pretty sure he did. I don't remember. Anyways, so yeah. I'm gonna leave this off here. I know this is really short, but I'm gonna I'm gonna continue this series. I'm gonna bring back Wolverine. What if Deck was Wolverine? Like on Monday, I think. Yeah, on Monday I'll probably do that. And on Wednesday I'll probably do like what if Deku had ice make magic and maybe on Friday I'll do what if Deku had Venom. So yeah. I know this is really short. I'm sorry, but I hope you guys liked it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.